Hello darlings, you are welcome to Z-Star Africa, your home of sizzling drama updates. This is the September finale continuation video. Missed the first? Please watch it before diving into this. Please turn on your notifications for more sizzling updates, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Let's dive right in. September 27th, 2025. This episode starts with Sachin, who finds motivation from his wife to grow his business. Inspired, he dreams of buying a few more cars and taking his driving business to the next level. He also hopes to support his father along the way. The next morning, Renuka and Roshni struggle to get Tejas out of bed. He's supposed to join the family business soon, but getting him up feels like a mission. After all their efforts fail, Sachin walks in and dumps a full bucket of water on Tejas. The shock leaves Tejas rattled, but he has no choice now. He has to get ready. Later in the day, Siali is told to prepare a bunch of dishes for Tejas's showroom tiffins. She isn't okay with taking on that load alone. She says she could manage one dish if asked, as that would let her focus on her own work too. Siali firmly refuses to cook anything for Tejas, which leaves Renuka fuming. Renuka accuses her of holding a grudge from the day before and mocks both her manners and her mother Shobha's simple background. Siali stands her ground and tells Renuka to speak with respect. Sachin then makes a call to Mamta to return the air conditioner she had gifted to the Deshmukh family. He makes it clear that they don't want gifts or any sort of luxury lifestyle. If Mamta wishes to gift something, she should do so for her daughter, not for the rest of the family. Sachin also takes a jab at Joy for constantly interfering in their matters. Mamta and Joy are left stunned by Sachin's blunt behavior. Tejas starts his morning with yoga. When Roshni asks about it, he says he wants to stay healthy. One of the staff members shows up and shares the good news that the business has been doing great lately, with profits doubling. Tejas rewards the staff with a bonus for their hard work. Not long after, Mamta shows up at Tejas's showroom to return the air conditioner. Tejas and Roshni are both surprised and ask what happened. Mamta tells them that she had gifted it for the Deshmukh family, but Sachin refused to accept it. Playing the victim, Mamta hints that Tejas should question his brother. Tejas worries that returning the AC might create a bad impression, and sure enough, other customers start doubting the quality of their products after seeing a return. September 28th, 2025. This episode starts with Mamta returning the air conditioner she had bought from the Deshmukh family. Although Mamta doesn't ask for the money back, Roshni insists on returning it and sells her Mangal Sutra to cover the amount. She no longer wants to feel humiliated in front of Mamta or Riya. Back at home, the family gathers to discuss the situation. Everyone is upset with Sachin for convincing Mamta to take the gift back. Many misunderstand his intentions, assuming he did it to embarrass Tejas in front of Mamta. Tejas and Roshni speak out against Sachin's actions, but Sachin and Siali defend themselves, saying accepting the gift would have been even more shameful. The argument grows as their views on business clash. Roshni accuses Sachin of hurting Mamta with his rude behavior. Riya also questions Sachin, upset about how her mother was treated. Sachin admits he manipulated Mamta into returning the gift. Tejas and Roshni believe Sachin's motive was to sabotage their business. Sachin feels it would have been disrespectful to accept such an expensive gift. As the argument escalates, Paresh steps in to calm things down. Tejas brings up how Roshni sold her Mangal Sutra to return the money. Renuka is furious and blames Sachin for the whole mess. She also blames Siali, accusing her of turning Sachin against Tejas. Renuka's harsh words deeply hurt Sachin and Siali. Siali finally speaks up in support of her husband. Paresh questions why Sachin made such a decision on his own and concludes that it was a mistake. Riya is feeling bad for her mother. She talks to Akash in her room. She vents her anger at Sachin. Akash surprises her by supporting her family and calmly explains that Mamta made the decision without consulting anyone, and buying such an expensive gift was unnecessary. Riya begins to understand and appreciates how maturely Akash handled everything. Siali also realizes what led Sachin to act that way. She knows Mamta had her own reasons and had purposely tried to stir trouble in the family through the gift. September 29th, 2025. This episode begins with Siali struggling to manage her business tasks. Sachin offers to help, but she insists on handling things herself. Renuka criticizes Siali and Sachin for disturbing the peace in the house. Upset, she complains to her husband and says she doesn't want either of them in her house anymore. Renuka also feels sorry for Roshni, who had to sell her Mangal Sutra to repay Mamata. She plans to give Roshni a new Mangal Sutra, but Paresh advises her not to favor Roshni and Riya. Before heading to the parlor, Renuka tells Roshni to retrieve her Mangal Sutra from the pawn shop. She continues to blame Sachin and Siali for everything and criticizes their character. Riya overhears this and becomes upset, taking a stand for Siali. She asks Renuka to stop blaming her for everything. Siali feels unwell while delivering products to customers. Her friend notices she has a high fever, but despite refusing help, Siali's friend assists her in completing the deliveries. Shikha questions Roshni about not taking money to buy the Mangal Sutra. Roshni refuses help from her mother-in-law, fearing she'll be constantly reminded to call her father and uncle. Tejas, moved by Roshni's sacrifice, expresses admiration for her behavior. Roshni complains about Siali not preparing food in the morning before delivering products. Riya becomes very irritated by Roshni's criticism of Siali and reminds her that Siali juggles both household work and her business. She suggests they should help Siali instead. When Siali returns from work, she is asked to prepare food for Roshni but refuses, citing her health. Riya, noticing her weakness, takes Siali to her room to rest and urges her to take a break. Roshni suggests that Riya set some boundaries, fearing Siali will start using the room as her own. Riya insists on helping each other as daughters-in-law. Roshni feels jealous of the bond between Sachin and Siali. Sachin thanks Riya for supporting Siali. Sachin approaches Siali and expresses his concern, encouraging her to rest. Siali becomes emotional seeing Sachin's care. Tejas brings a piece of paper to Roshni, showing her something that makes her very happy. September 30th, 2025. This episode starts with Tejas and Roshni learning about a hidden treasure buried beneath their ancestral village house. The treasure was placed underground 58 years ago. Tejas and Roshni decide to retrieve it without informing any family members. Both Tejas and Roshni feel overwhelmed thinking about the possible outcomes. At Aji's house, Tejas is surprised to find his two brothers there with their wives. Aji is delighted to see all her grandchildren together. Tejas finds it difficult to figure out how they will keep the treasure a secret. Sachin begins to suspect Tejas and Roshni's intentions, sensing that their sudden visit to the village is not without a reason. At dinner, the family gathers together. Roshni brings up the village's history during the conversation. Aji begins sharing stories about the village, but when Roshni shows particular interest in tales of hidden treasures, Aji avoids the topic and abruptly leaves. Her reaction makes everyone uneasy and raises doubts. Sachin and Siali start to sense that Tejas and Roshni have come with a purpose. They begin looking for the truth. Sachin recalls hearing a story about treasure in his childhood, though Siali finds it hard to believe someone would bury treasure underground. She soon notices Tejas and Roshni wandering around the village, speaking to locals. Tejas and Roshni meet an elderly man, hoping to learn more about the village's past. The man behaves strangely and claims to be the king of the village. He narrates stories about a generous royal family that once ruled the area. His story confirms Tejas and Roshni's belief in the treasure's existence. He also shares a poetic clue that may help them locate it. As the old man speaks, Riya and Akash overhear the conversation and discover Tejas and Roshni's true intentions. They quickly inform Sachin about what they heard. Sachin makes it clear he has no interest in taking the treasure, believing it rightfully belongs to the villagers. That's a wrap for September recaps. Thanks for always supporting Z Star Africa. Much love.